What's going on YouTube? The Apophis here, and as always, welcome back to my channel. You're here on the ride for another gameplay commentary, playing some domination on Plaza with the Chick'em CQB. I've got 2 submachine guns left before I get my diamond combo. They just so happen to be the Chick'em and the Scorpion. I kind of sort of been going in order. Okay, so expect to see a lot of gameplay from those 2, which may or may not be a good thing. Yes, it's still a submachine gun, and yeah, everybody's fucking using submachine guns on YouTube. I know, okay, but it's not a PDW, it's not an MSMC. We can be thankful for that, right? I friggin' hope so, because that's what you're gonna see for a while. Because I'm not the world's greatest player, so taking and getting these weird SMGs and getting these gold camos with them, not the easiest thing for me. However, it's fun and it keeps the game fresh for me, and it prevents me from using the same weapon over and over and over and over and over again, which I think is worse than using the same style of weapon over and over and over and over and over again. There you go, guys. I talked about the gameplay for once, for a little bit, and we're over. Moving on. Next topic. Alright, first and foremost, man, I wanted to talk about judging people based on how they look and why it's stupid. I'm sure we've all, at some point in time throughout our lives, had somebody go, ooh, I don't know if I want to talk to that guy. Look at his shoes. They're not what I think is cool, so I'm not going to talk to him. Well, quite honestly, fuck you, right? Like, let's be real. I know for me, I grew up unfortunate, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I had a roof over. What the fuck is up with the knifing in this game? Do you guys see this? How many times? How many times? And then, of course, I die. But I stabbed him like 7 fucking times. Fix that shit, Black Ops 2. Fix that shit. Okay. Anyway, I grew up a little less fortunate than most. Don't get me wrong. I had a roof over my head. I had food in my belly. It might have been a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I had it. And I'm very, very grateful that I at least had that, because I know there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there that don't have that. Okay, so I am grateful, and I'm not complaining one bit about the things that I had. I'm just sharing my story about some of the adversity that I faced being less fortunate than the other kids that I grew up around. Okay, so I was less fortunate. A lot of my clothes were hand-me-down clothes from my cousins. Again, I'm grateful. I don't care about any of this, right? But it's that type of thing that kind of gave me a stigma, right? Like, people would judge me instantly. Like, oh, this guy's wearing hand-me-down clothes. Or, oh, this guy doesn't have the coolest shoes. Or, oh, he's had that same jacket for the last 4 years. Oh, he must be poor. And, like, I would automatically get judged and written off as a person that you'd want as a friend, because I didn't have the newest, coolest stuff. And I didn't have people over to my house a lot either. That was another big thing. We had a kind of a small place, and we were kind of messy, but we were only really messy because there was 5 of us living in a really small dwelling. But it's like, so I don't know, like, I feel like people judged me based on that, where if they would have taken the time to get to know me, they'd learn that I'm the type of person that will damn near do anything for somebody if I feel like they're in need. They would have learned that growing up less fortunate has made me a more compassionate person. That wearing hand-me-down clothes has made me want to donate and help other people out that might be in the same situation that I'm in. Okay, I donated my time coaching youth football because I didn't have a whole lot of positive role models in my life, because I was judged. And I didn't want other kids to have to go through that, so I took time out of my life to try to be a positive influence or a positive role model for kids, even though not all of them were less fortunate, right? But that's not the point. The point is giving back. It's being the good person. And a lot of people missed out on me as a friend because they were judgmental. And as a kid, it was hard, right? It was hard. Why don't I have so many friends? You know, oh, it's because of my clothes? Well, that's a fucking stupid reason. That is a stupid reason to not have friends. And now that I'm an adult, and now that I understand things a little more than I did as a kid, I still don't know everything, and I don't think we can ever know everything. But I do understand things a little more than I did when I was a kid. And now if I run into somebody that's like, oh, I don't know, I'm judging you based on how you look, quite honestly, you probably weren't worth having in my life anyway. And I think that that's a good attitude to have about it, and I think that that's one most people should have. If people aren't going to accept you for who you are, or aren't going to take the time to learn who you are before they judge you, my fault. If they're not going to take the time to learn who you are before they pass judgment, they're probably not worth having in your life. Because if they judge you based on your cover, imagine what else they're going to judge based on nothing, right? Because it doesn't matter what kind of clothes you wear. It doesn't. It really doesn't. You could wear Gucci all day long and still be a shitty person. You can, oh my God, you could be the type of person that people want to slap every time you open your mouth. And what, you're wearing expensive clothes? Shouldn't you? No. It doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter if you have pimples. It doesn't matter if you have acne scars. You know why? Because that does not define who you are. We have to make sure that we don't let our physical appearance define who we are. We should define our physical appearance. And you know, it's some of those kids that you probably see that knife work. Some of those kids that you probably look at and go, ooh, why are they dressed like a vampire? They have a very good mindset. Like, you know, they don't care what you think. They're gonna be them. And I'm willing to bet you if you looked at some of those kids that dress a little weird, I guess we'll say, for lack of better terms, you'd find that they're probably actually really nice people. And they probably actually have a lot of good insights on some things. And they're probably really smart. But we don't take the time to give them that opportunity because we don't like the way they look. Now this kind of is a big segue into body art, right? Tattoos. Tattoos is another big thing we judge people on, man. And personally, I think it's crap. I think it's crap because I'm tattooed. I have a good collection of tattoos on my body. And see, the thing is you didn't know that. You didn't know that until this video right here. And all of you have already had your opportunity. You guys have already passed your judgment. You've already figured out whether you like me or not. And you did it based on my personality and my personality alone. Right? Because you couldn't see me. It's not like we can go out and have a drink. It's not like we're hanging out. No. You judge me based on who I've been in my videos. And that's how you've determined whether or not you like me. Okay, but now, how many of you, take a step back, how many of you would have even given the chance to get to know me if you saw me in real life because I have a bunch of tattoos? Would you have strayed away? Like, oh, this guy, you know, he must be some crazy thug or this or that, which I'm far from a thug. I don't look anything like a thug. There we go, judging instantly as it is. But how many of you would have looked at the whole tattoo scenario and not given me the fair chance? Alright, and I feel like that happens a lot with people with tattoos. And I think very great people can be tattooed. I don't think a tattoo should define who you are or what your character is. Right? People get tattoos for so many different reasons, whether it be a memorial or to commemorate an important moment in their life. Or if you're like me, you might just have tattoos because you freaking like art. And you see tattoos as art. I see them as very talented pieces of artwork, very talented drawings, and I have the luxury of displaying that art. Okay, I have tattoos that do have meanings, don't get me wrong, but a lot of my tattoos I have just because I like them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? It's all about what we like and doing things that make us happy, regardless of what other people think. Okay, but there's this huge stigma about people with tattoos, how they're bad people, or they must have been in prison, or they're this and that. And that's judging people based on how they look. And a lot of people miss out on super awesome individuals because they're judging them because of how they look. Now, I bring up tattoos because I know tattoos are becoming a more accepted thing. And should I get a tattoo is a question on a lot of people's minds. And my answer is is very simple. Should you get a tattoo? I think yeah. Because if you're contemplating on whether or not to get a tattoo, you probably really want one. My advice for you, though, is make sure you really want it, right? Because it's not going away once it's there. You're really going to have that for the rest of your life, so make sure you really want it. But don't let some stigma attached to it turn you off from it. That being said, should you get a tattoo on your neck or face? That's up to you to decide, but think about the repercussions, right? Think about how you might have a hard time getting while you're in job interviews and things like that if you have tattoos on your face and things like that. So should you get one? Yeah, sure. Make sure your reasons are solid. Make sure you're not going to regret it. Make sure you're really going to want it. And I don't see why not. Okay, but the point of this was stop judging people by how they look, because you're going to miss out on great friends by doing so. Alright, everybody. thanks for stopping by. As usual, you guys know what to do. Like button, subscribe button, 2 videos. As always, follow me on Twitter to find out what's going on, to keep up to date, to play some Call of Duty, to know when the podcast is, all the other good stuff. Alright, and I really super appreciate every single one of you guys coming by and viewing these videos. So thank you so much, and I hope you all have a super fantastic day. Thanks.